Good morning. It's Merry Christmas Eve. So this is the day before Christmas. And I promised I would also bring yoga today, even though I really wanted to sleep in and snuggle in my warm bed. We're joined this morning by Nui. Look at her wagging her tail. And our yoga this morning is going to focus on the health of our whole back. So the mudra that is inspiring our classes this week really focuses actually on the health of the root of the spine and all that's connected to it. So you might also think that it's part of studying the root chakra, which we could talk a little bit about. But I decided that back health is very important as well. So I went ahead and designed routines this week that would help us to strengthen our backs and make them feel wonderful. So join me at the chair. So well, you have to sit down if you're going to join us. Sit down. Thank you. Down, down, all the way. We'll see how long this lasts. Okay. So the mudra is the Merudanda Mudra. We take this mudra by creating fists with our hands and placing our thumbs together, drawing our elbows back towards our ribs, and placing our hands right in front of our solar plexus. She's kind of a hog when it comes to attention. She'll settle down in a moment. So when you take this mudra, this reminds you to draw your attention to the root of your spine. And it doesn't just focus on the health of the spine, but it focuses on all the qualities of the root chakra. So feeling connected to the earth, feeling secure, feeling stable, feeling centered. So this is a mudra that you can take when you're feeling a little anxious, when you're feeling a little bit scattered, like the world is kind of moving too quickly for you at this moment in time, and now you want to kind of stop the madness and settle in. So there are ways that you can apply it. You close your eyes when you take this mudra and you breathe in and out deeply, purposefully, and mindfully. And draw inward and look to your root chakra. Now the root chakra is in the color of red. If it helps you, visualize the color of red at the very base of your spine. And imagine how through that chakra, through that root, you are forming roots that tether you to the earth. And keep you grounded. Imagine the feelings that you have when you know that there can be chaos all around you, and yet you can be like the calm in the storm in the middle, like right in the eye of the storm. Unmoving, unchanging, unwavering, solid. So allow the power of this mudra to help you to feel that sensation. And to own that and to make that your reality. Take a nice inhale. And exhale. Let's link our breath to movement. Inhaling our hands overhead. And exhaling our hands out and down. Inhale our hands out and up. And exhale out and down. Inhale our hands out and up. And exhale, let's bring our hands out to the side and fold over our legs. Initially just resting on top of the thighs, allowing our hands to float down to our feet. I'm going to move this card that the dog knocked out of my hand. See what she's doing? When I'm around her, she's got to be loved on. So dropping the crown, dropping your hands. Inhale, place your hands against your shins. Draw the crown of your head forward, drawing your shoulders back and down. And then exhale down. And then inhale, bring your hands out to the side, lift up your heart center, rising all the way up. Hands at the top, and then descending them down to your heart center in prayer pose on your exhale. Inhale. Exhale the hands down. Inhale them up. Exhale, hands out to the side as you swan dive forward over your legs, hands to your feet, drop your crown. Inhale, hands to shins. Draw your shoulders away from the ears as you draw the crown of your head forward. Exhale, drop your crown. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale the hands down. Inhale the hands up. Exhale, swan dive over your thighs. Hands to your feet, drop your crown. Inhale into a flat spine, drawing your shoulders away from your ears. Exhale down. Inhale, rise all the way up. Now when we rise up, I'm going to ask you to create more length. So root your sits bones into your chair as you lift up your heart center, lifting up your hands and drawing your arms back so that they are in alignment with your ears. Perhaps turn your pinkies in just a little bit so that you can help your shoulder blades to float down your back. And just breathe here 3 times, creating all this length. One more inhale, reach. Exhale, hands out to the side, resting over your thighs. Drop your hands, drop the crown of your head. Inhale into that flat spine. Exhale down. And then inhale, rise all the way up. Hands to heart center in prayer. And then allow them to descend down to your thighs. Let's take a cat-cow sequence. So that's easier if you move more to the front of your chair. Whatever chair you choose is fine as long as the chair doesn't move. And as long as you can create the right height with your chair so that your thighs can be parallel to the floor. In my case, I put blocks underneath my feet so that I can experience that. Because when your feet are grounded well to the floor, all of your poses are safer and more in alignment. So to go into cow, we're going to draw our heart center forward on the inhale, draw our shoulders back, and allow our sits bones to float backwards. To move into cat, we're going to exhale and reverse all of that, drawing our back towards the back of the chair, rolling our shoulders forward. Feel that nice stretch across the shoulders and the back. Inhale, draw the heart center forward, allowing your sits bones to float back. Maybe open up your throat. And then exhale, reverse that order, moving into cat. Inhale, draw the heart center forward, shoulders back and down. And then exhale, reversing that order, moving your back towards the back of the chair. Inhale, rise up. We're going to do some nice circles with the body to help loosen up the back this morning. So you're going to do this in a way that feels organic and good for you, but I'm going to start moving to, I guess, move my left side body to the left and then circle around, drawing my back to the back like in cat, and then open up my right side body as I bring my heart center forward and just do these circles. Now what I want you to do is cadence this to your own breath. No rules here. We're just opening up the body, doing some nice circles. So if you're somebody that sits a lot for work, at home or at the office, taking some time to do things like this in the middle of your work is really good for you because the stillness is really hard on our body. I'm going to go ahead and reverse that now. I was reading a UCLA program that recommends 50 minutes of working followed by 5 minutes of movement every hour. So maybe that can be something we establish as a New Year's resolution for us sitters with work. Work for 50 minutes, take 5 minutes of exercise. Wake up the body, wake up the mind. And let's just do a couple more cycles of this. And then rise up. Placing your hands on the chair, take your right hand out to the side, up alongside your ear and curling it to the left, curling your body to the left. Draw your right shoulder back as you open up in Ardha Chandrasana. Breathe deeply, purposefully, and with intent. Take another inhale. Exhale, float your right hand down alongside your right hip. Take your left hand out and up alongside your left ear, curling to the right. Again, drawing your right shoulder or your left shoulder back. One more inhale. Exhale, float that down. Now, I think it would be really nice to get out of the chair today. I am enjoying doing sun salutations with you as part of chair yoga. And I want to do a warrior sequence with you this morning that includes warrior 3 with the support of the chair, because that is a wonderful, wonderful pose to strengthen your entire back. So standing directly in front of your chair, make sure you leave room on your mat for you and your chair. I have a pretty wide mat here. It's about 6 feet in diameter. So if you need to move your chair off of your mat to give yourself space, then feel free to do that. Inhale your hands up and overhead. And then exhale, bring your hands down. Create length in your spine. Let's just take Tadasana for now. So Tadasana, we turn our palms forward. We draw our shoulders down our back. We allow our head to be in the same plane as the rest of our back body. Drawing the belly button in and up. And then stacking our shoulders perfectly over our hips. Maybe creating a little bit of a bend in your thighs so that you can engage the muscles of your legs, which then engage your soles of your feet, your arches. And if you want to make sure that your feet are in good contact with the floor, lift up all of your toes, engage those arches, strengthen the foot, and then lower the toes down, keeping contact with all 3 corners of the foot, the big toe mound, the little toe mound, and the heel. This posture is a good reminder to us every day that we want to stand, not necessarily like this, but if we turned our hands forward, we would want this posture where our neck is nice and long and our shoulders are back and down. It's like an instant cure for neck pain. It's really amazing when you create that space and you engage those muscles between your shoulder blades and you use your core muscles to keep you strong, how your whole back benefits, including your neck. Inhale your hands up now. And then on your exhale, slightly bend your knees, take your hands to the chair, forehead to the chair. This is your forward fold. Inhale into a flat back. Draw your shoulders away as you draw the crown of your head forward. Take a nice inhale. Exhale, drop your crown, or drop your forehead rather, and take your right foot back to the floor. You can stay in a high lunge or you can drop to a low lunge. I'm going to stay in a high lunge this morning. Place your hands on the chair. Inhale, lift up your crown of your head, lift up your heart center as you draw your shoulder blades down on your inhale. On your exhale, place both of your hands firmly on the chair and move your left foot back to join the right and move back in space. You might bend your legs slightly as we're just opening up the body. So you don't have to have your legs straight. We don't want any tension in the back. So bend those legs so that you can release tension in the back. Take a nice inhale. And then on your exhale, take your right foot forward. Move into that lunge again. You can go as deeply as you need to or stay up high if you need to. Inhale your heart center up and your crown up as you draw your shoulders down. And then on your exhale, place your hands together on the chair. Bring left foot to join your right. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale, forehead down. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Something else that I want you to know is you can change the orientation of your chair. I like to have the orientation where the seated part of the chair is what's facing me for these sun salutations. But if you need to be higher for where you're at with yoga, you can turn that chair around and use the back of the chair for your support. Inhale. Exhale your hands down. Inhale your hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Hands to the chair. Drop your forehead. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale, forehead back down and take your left foot back. Moving into that lunge, inhale your heart center up as you draw your shoulders down. Take a nice inhale. Exhale, bring right foot back to join left as we move into downward facing dog. Take a nice inhale. Exhale. Inhale, take your left foot forward. Hands remaining on the chair. Inhaling your heart center up as you draw your shoulders down. And then exhale. Bring your right foot to join the left. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down. Inhale, rising all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale our hands down. Inhale our hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Hands on the chair. Drop your forehead. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale, bring your right foot back. Inhale, rise up your heart center. Maybe start to open up that right sella this time. Exhale, place your hands on the chair. Move your left foot back into that downward facing dog. Move into your dog. Inhale. Exhale, bring your right foot forward. Lift up your heart center as you draw down your shoulders, opening up your left sella. Exhale, bring your left foot forward to join the right. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale, forehead to the chair. Inhale, rising all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale the hands down. Inhale the hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Hands to the chair. Drop your forehead. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale, forehead back down, and take your left foot back. Inhale, rise up your heart center. Exhale, take your right foot back to join the left. Take a nice inhale. Exhale, left foot forward. Inhale, rise up your heart center. And then exhale, bring right foot to join left. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down, forehead to the chair. Inhale, swan dive. Reverse swan dive all the way up to the top. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's do 1/3 round with that. Still opening up the body. Inhale. Exhale our hands down. Inhale our hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Hands to the chair. Place your forehead on the chair. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale, take your right foot back into that lunge. Inhale, keeping your hands on the chair. Lift up your heart center as you draw your shoulders down. Exhale, placing your hands on the chair. Move back into that downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale, take your right foot forward. Keeping your hands on the chair, lift up your heart center on the inhale, drawing the shoulders down, opening up that left psoas. And then exhale, placing your hands on the chair, bring left foot forward to join the right. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale, forehead to the chair. Inhale, rising all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale your hands down. Inhale your hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward, hands to the chair, forehead to the chair. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale, forward down as you take your left foot back. Inhale, rise up. Draw your shoulders down. Lift up your heart center. And then exhale, take your right foot back to join the left, moving into downward facing dog. Take a nice inhale. And then on your exhale, take your left foot forward. Inhale, rise up your heart center as you draw your shoulders down, opening up your right psoas. And then exhale, bring right foot to join left. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale, forehead down to the chair. And then inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. So the really nice thing about using the chair is you have this beautiful stability and you can really open up the body. So you can see that chair yoga doesn't mean you can really use the chair to create additional extension. So it's a really great opportunity. So I'm going to turn the chair around now as we move into a warrior sequence. So I've got the back of the chair now facing me, and I'm going to stand in front of the chair. So we're going to start with warrior 1 to warrior 2. If you choose to, we can go into peaceful warrior. And then at the end, on both sides, we're going to also take warrior 3. So inhale your hands up. Exhale your hands down. Take your right foot back in space. So you're probably going to see my back side on this side. That's okay. So moving into warrior 1, our right heel is on the floor. Our right toes are pointed forward. Our left toes are pointed forward. Our hip points are both facing the chair. So you can use the chair for support, or if you want, you can let go of the chair and take your hands overhead and move into warrior 1. Let's hold this for 3 breaths. As you have your hands up overhead, draw your shoulders down. Pull your belly button in. One more inhale. And then exhale, we're going to open that up into warrior 2. So place your left hand on the chair. Maybe create a little bit more length between your feet if you need that. Left heel lined up with the right, drawing our left knee back towards the baby toes. Draw our shoulder blades together. Arms are parallel to the floor. Let's breathe 3 times in this pose. Final breath. And then place our right hand on the thigh to move into peaceful warrior. So to move into peaceful warrior, we actually lift our left hand off the chair and lift it overhead. If you feel like you need that support of the chair, you can just continue to stay in warrior 2. Final breath. Exhale, return back to Warrior Two. Place your right hand on the chair and move back into Warrior One. Now we're going to move into Warrior Three. So take a nice inhale, lift up the heart center. And then in the exhale, straighten out your left leg and move your right leg back behind you and start to lift it up. And just move your heart center towards the chair. And just lift your leg up in space. Try to keep your right hip from opening up using the strength of the hamstrings and the strength of your lower spine. You're lifting your leg up so that it's parallel with the floor. It can be pointed or you can have your toes facing the floor. Let's hold this for 3 breaths. Final breath. And then exhale, bend your left leg, drop back down into Warrior One. Take a nice inhale. And then exhale, move forward up to the chair. Both feet together. Let's take a cleansing breath. Inhale our hands overhead. Exhale our hands down. Placing our hands on the chair. Let's move back into Warrior One. Moving our left leg back. So when we move into Warrior One, like I told you, your heel is on the floor, your feet are pointed forward. I'm trying to find the position I like best for my feet because I've actually got my mat on top of a rug today and I'm feeling the edge of the rug. So what we are going for is both of our hip points are facing the chair. We're able to have a nice bend in our front leg. Our left heel is touching the floor. There's an angle of the foot. I've got mine at about a little deeper than 45 degrees. And then we draw in the belly button, draw the shoulders down as we lift the heart center. Maybe lifting your hands overhead. Lift up the hands and draw the shoulders back and down. One more inhale. Exhale, placing the hands on the chair. Let's open up into Warrior Two. So toes are facing the chair. Left knee or right knee is deeply bent with the knee coming out towards the baby toe. Now the left foot is parallel with the mat behind me. And my heel is intersecting with the arch of my foot. So drawing our hands so that they're parallel to the floor. Bend the right leg more deeply to get that hip opening of that pose. Inhale 3 times. Final breath. And then on the exhale, we're going to lower that left hand down to move into Peaceful Warrior. So you could take a version of Peaceful Warrior by just moving away from the chair, holding on to it if you want. Or you can raise your right hand overhead, maybe even curling it towards your left side. Final breath. And then exhale, place your right hand on the chair, moving back into Warrior Two. Take a nice inhale. And then exhale, place your left arm on the chair. Move back into that Warrior One posture with your feet. And then we're going to lift up into Warrior Three. Take a nice inhale. Exhale. And then inhale. Bend your right leg, straighten out your right leg rather, leaving your left leg behind you. And then start to move your chest towards the chair as you lift up that left leg, possibly to floor height behind you. If you have to be lower, that's okay. But the movement of the leg, it's like your leg is hinged. See that? Nothing's changing with my hip. So draw the belly button in, lifting the leg up, engaging the muscles of the lower spine and the back of the leg at the same time. And breathe 3 times. Final breath. And then exhale, bend your right leg. Moving into Warrior One. Inhale, lift up your heart center. And then exhale, bring your left foot to the chair, or up to join your right foot rather. Inhale, cleansing breath. And then exhale, bring your hands down. That should really make your back feel really terrific. So let's go back to sitting again, because I have some more back work I want to do with you with the chair. So one of the things I'm going to have you do is go into chair pose in the chair. So that's easiest done when you move forward on the chair, making sure that your sit bones are still in firm contact with the floor. Sit up as tall as you can, drawing those shoulders back and down. You're always going to hear me talk about drawing the shoulders back and down. Inhale your hands up, moving your arms as far back as you're able to by drawing your shoulders back. So take a nice inhale. And then on the exhale, keeping that lift, hinge at the hips, but keep your arms back. Keep your heart center lifted. Draw the belly button in. And just hold this. So as you can see, I'll show you from the side, this is what the posture is. Notice how there's a long line from my wrist all the way to my sits bones. That's what we're going for, because that forces you to engage all the muscles of the spine, strengthen them from the top of your spine all the way down on either side of the spine towards the lumbar region. Very powerful. Breathe 2 more times. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, allow your hands to drop down. Do some shoulder rolls to release your shoulders. They've been doing a lot of work. And now we're going to do something else. We're going to do something similar to that with our hands out to the side. So take our hands out to the side, hinge at the hips, and draw your shoulders together on your back. Now you can lay across your legs if you want to, but I want you to focus on as if you're flying. I want you to focus on heart lift, lifting up your shoulders and drawing them together on your spine, creating length in the spine. So it's like you're in a squat with bird wings sitting on the chair. You're working your shoulders, you're working your back. Inhale, lift up the heart. Exhale, allow your torso to lay across your legs. Inhale, lift up your heart. Exhale, drop your torso on your legs. And then one more inhale, lift up the heart. Exhale, drop your hands and sit all the way up. Let's do a couple of cat-cows now. Cow forward on the inhale, and exhale into cat. Stretching out those muscles of the back. Inhale into cow. Exhale into cat. Inhale into cow. And then exhale into cat. Ooh. So I don't know about you, but I feel like my whole back is warm. So we're making this a full body experience today. I hate to use the word workout when I'm talking about yoga, but truthfully, we are working the body. So let's go with the Western concept of using yoga to work out today. Take our hands and clasp them underneath our thighs, our right thigh rather. Draw your shoulders back and down, which forces you to lift up that leg. Right now, toes are pointed down. Draw the shoulders back, engaging your core muscles to sit nice and tall. On your inhale, straighten out your leg. On your exhale, flex your toes and bring your heel back down, bending your leg. Inhale, point the toes and straighten the leg. Exhale, flex the toes and bring the heel back down. Inhale, point the toes and straighten the leg. Exhale, flex your toes and bring your heel back down. Now, I'm going to ask you to remove your hands and place them overhead. Point your toes, keep your knees stationary. Inhale, straighten out the leg. Exhale, flex the toes, bring the heel back down. Inhale, point the toes and straighten the leg. Exhale, flex the toes and bring the heel back down. Inhale, point your toes and straighten the leg. Exhale, flex the toes and bring it back down. Replace that leg. So you should have felt some firing off of your thigh. This is good. Place your hands clasped underneath your left leg. Draw your shoulders away, back and down, sitting up nice and tall using your core muscles. Inhale, point your toe, straighten out your leg. Exhale, flex your toes and bring your heel back down. Inhale, point your toes and straighten your leg. Exhale, flex your toes and bring your heel back down. Inhale, point your toes and straighten your leg. Exhale, flex your toes and bring your heel back down. Now release that leg, keeping it high. Inhale your hands overhead. Inhale, point your toes, straighten out your leg. Exhale, flex your toes and bring the heel back down. Inhale, point the toes and straighten the leg. Exhale, flex the toes and bring the heel back down. Inhale, point the toes, straighten the leg. Exhale, flex the toes, bring the heel back down. Place that foot down. Exhale your hands down. Isn't that great? Okay, so let's do a couple more cleansing breaths and we're going to go into some twists. Inhale our hands up. Now that you've created some length in your spine this morning and you've opened up your body, if you want to on your forward fold to go between the legs, you certainly can. Exhale, hands out to the side, dropping between the legs. Hands to your feet, drop your crown. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale the head down. Leave your left hand on top of your left foot and take your right hand to your right hip, twisting to the right. Draw your right shoulder back. And maybe you want to lift your hand overhead. That's an option. Hold this for 3 breaths. One more inhale. Exhale, drop your right hand down to your right foot. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale, drop your crown. On your next inhale, keep your right hand on your right foot and take your left hand to your left hip, twisting to the left. Maybe you want to stay here. Maybe you'd like to lift your left hand up overhead, creating a nice line from left wrist all the way to right wrist, stacking your shoulders on top of one another as we engage in this twist. One more inhale. Exhale, drop your left hand down. Inhale into that flat spine. Exhale down. Inhale, rising all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's cross our legs, literally cross our legs, so that we can do a nice seated spinal twist. Take our right leg over our left leg. Place our left arm, the length of our arm, against the outside of our right knee. Sit up nice and tall. Turn around, find a place on the chair that you'd like to grab, and then engage your twist. You don't have to force yourself into it. You're anchoring your left arm against your right knee, and that actually is what helps with the twist. But also the twist should come from the belly, so you can twist on your own. And I'm just using my hand on the back as a support or a place to put my hand. Take one more inhale, and then exhale. Circle back to the front. Unfurl your legs. Take your left leg and cross it over the right, pointing those toes, or not. I just like to. Take your right arm and place it on the outside of your left knee. Sit up nice and tall. Reach around the back and start to engage your twist to the left. Spinal mobility is really key to avoiding injury. The more we move, the better we feel. One more inhale. And then exhale. Circle back to the front. Unfurl your legs. And now let's move into seated pigeon and start to do the final work of opening up these hips. So crossing your right ankle over your left knee. Initially, just sit up nice and tall. When we sit up nice and tall, we create space for the hip to start to open up. And you might find one hip naturally opens up more than the other. I start with my right side always. I'm not sure why, but my right side is always my less open side. And maybe that's a good thing to start with the side that needs a little bit more attention, really encouraging it to join forces with the other side that might be more open and more strong. But in yoga, we're always seeking balance, right? So in yoga, we are always seeking to get each side to be close to one another in extension and strength and openness. So we might have to tamper down one side as we bring the other up. When we have imbalance, we create injuries. It's also a nice metaphor for living. We're seeking balance all the time. This time of the year is a reminder to us how important balance is. This time that we've been in with coronavirus has also been a reminder, as families are some finding that life is much more challenging with having their children schooling at home while they're trying to work at home, and they're trying to balance all these responsibilities. My life didn't slow down with COVID at all, actually. It just became more at home, but it didn't get any slower. So placing our right hand underneath our knee, maybe our left hand underneath our left foot to support it. Take a nice inhale, lift up your heart center. And then on your exhale, start to draw your heart center forward. Continue to draw your shoulders down your back. This keeps your back in good alignment, but it also serves to engage the proper muscles. And the ones I want you to feel are going to be the ones right on the outside of this hip. You might feel some pulling away from the spine, which is a good thing. Lengthening those muscles across the lower back as they move out towards the hip. That's a good thing. Continue to draw your toes back towards your knee in case you have any tension in that knee joint. It protects the joint. And just keep moving your heart center forward as you draw your shoulders away from your ears and down your back. Keeping a nice neutral spine, not rolling the spine down. The benefit of this pose comes from the movement forward. So if you were to round the spine down, not only do you put yourself at risk for injury, but it doesn't get the stretch where you want it, which is on the back. And you might feel it underneath here, where your hamstring inserts into your piriformis, but mostly you should feel it on the back side of your hip. Pigeon is wonderful, and you can do it in 3 variations. This is one. Oh gosh, there's 4 variations. You can do this one in a chair. You can do it on the floor in that traditional way where you've got one leg behind and one in front. You can do reclined pigeon laying on the floor where you thread the needle and draw your legs into the body. You can do seated pigeon on the floor where you're doing this same movement, only you're sitting on the floor. You could also do it against the wall. So it's a really versatile, marvelous stretch that you can do just about anywhere. And it's best when you do long, slow holds. And I don't even cue people through the breathing anymore. I just talk, get distracted, and then discover where your body lands. It's sort of like the approach to Sarupta yoga or yin yoga. It's just allowing your body to take its form by naturally opening up over time while you breathe gently. So I'm probably as far as my body should go. So I'm going to inhale, rise up. And then exhale, place my right foot on the block. Take my left foot and cross it over my right knee. And again, we start off initially just sitting up nice and tall, allowing the hip to naturally open. So you can see in the camera probably already that this is my more open side. Look at how it's already parallel almost with the floor. Just how it is. That's how it's always been ever since I was a little girl. The body is not symmetrical. We seek symmetry, but we're not symmetric. So it's kind of a funny thing. But I remember my chiropractor, Dr. Bueller, wonderful man, telling me when I was worried about injuries, when I was doing a lot of long distance running, he said, running doesn't hurt you. It's imbalances of the body that hurt you. It reveals those imbalances, and that's where injuries come from. And I've really taken that to heart because I really believe that it's true. And we all have something. We all have neck stuff, or shoulder stuff, or back stuff, or leg stuff, or knee stuff. We all have something. That does not mean we stop moving. In fact, it means we need to move even more. Inhale, take a nice long inhale, lifting up your heart center. And then on your exhale, start to move your heart center forward. Continuing to flex your toes back towards your knee to protect that knee joint. Drawing the shoulders back and down, keeping the heart lift as you move the heart forward. Now, last night I went and delivered cookies to neighbors. I did that on Wednesday and I did it last night. No, Tuesday night. No, Monday night. I'm getting confused. Today's Thursday. Yesterday was Wednesday. Monday I delivered cookies and I delivered some on Tuesday. And it is joyful to share with the neighbors, visit a little bit, find out how people are doing. We have a neighborhood Facebook group page, and we actually have about 116 people that have joined our page in our local neighborhood here, which is wonderful. And I can't make it out to see 116 people. That would take me a long time. So I delivered cookies to about 15 or 16 people that I've met in person. I haven't met everybody in person, but so grateful for the opportunity to do that, bring a little bit of joy. And that's how this holiday season is. We just got to make the most of it. Maybe tonight I'll drive around and look at people's houses. There's a map of the area of people that have decorated. So maybe I'll do that. So I think I have found my final form of this. So I'm going to take a nice inhale, exhale, and then I'm going to rise up and place my left foot back on the block. Now we can move back into what will be our final resting position for this session. So I do encourage you to choose how you want to take your Shavasana today. So I'm going to stay in the chair, but you can get down on the floor. You can have your legs up on the chair. You can have your legs up on the wall, whatever pleases you. If you're sitting in the chair, feel free to rest all the way back and allow the back of that chair to support you. Perhaps close your eyes and start to breathe in and out of your nose. And start to bring down your energy, allowing it to descend down and away from the crown of your head, down to the floor, feeling your consciousness move with it. Scan your body mentally, looking for spots where the breath might not be moving as freely, where you may feel tension. And fully release all of that tension. Allow your shoulders to be relaxed and float down to the floor, the back of the chair. Allow your hands that are resting either on the floor or on your thighs to be completely, totally relaxed. Allow your feet that are in contact with the floor to fully relax. Allow all the muscles of your face to melt down, holding no tension, no muscle energy at all. And then imagine that root that I described to you earlier, tethering you, your spine, your lower spine, your root chakra to the floor, to the ground. Imagine that root goes all the way to the center of the earth, connecting us with this earth. We are indeed connected. This is a visual acknowledgement of that connection. Continue to affirm to yourself that you are grounded. You are the calm in the eye of a storm. You are safe. You are centered. I encourage you to take Shavasana for 5 minutes or longer. Take time daily for stillness and meditation. Train yourself on how to bring your consciousness and deep relaxation on quickly so that you can use that wonderful tool anytime you need it. We say the longer that we engage in meditation, the better it is for us, for our mental health, for our physical health, for relationships, for effectiveness at work, for our sleep, for so many things. They say the more that we have on our plate, the longer we should meditate. I invite you to start to come back to the present. Maybe wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, maybe shrug your shoulders. So to integrate some movement. And then gently flutter open your eyes, finding a fixed point before you to focus on, using your drishti gaze. Inhale your hands up and overhead. Exhale your hands down. Inhale your hands out and up. Exhale them out and down. And one more inhale out and up. Exhale, hands to heart center. I want to wish you Merry Christmas and happiest of holidays. I want to thank you for joining me. The light in me joins the light in you. The yogi in me honors the yogi in you. Namaste.